Kala Yahweh, Ba'ashem, or Mashiach Yahweh Shah. That's all honor and glory goes to the Most High God Yahweh and His only begotten Son Yahweh Shah, man. We come out here again to speak down on this wicked society, and you know we just can't wait to the downfall of America, man. We also come to tell the native, the Negro, and the Hispanic that y'all are the chosen people of God. Y'all are the children of Israel. So, but we're gonna go into sodomy. I bring that out, King.
God, this is sodomy. Unnatural sexual relations, such as those imputed to the inhabitants of biblical Sodom, especially between persons of the same sex, but also with beasts. It says sodomy, anal sex, literally the sin of Sodom.
Man, so you see how we about to start off? We about to go into the sexual fornication, man. Things that you should not be doing, but America glorifies and tell you should be doing. It's okay to do it, you know. So that LGB, FAG, we about to go into that thing. Let's get to Leviticus 18.
This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. It says, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination."
So we're going to go to the law. We're going to start off in the law, straight from the Most High, saying that it is an abomination. You should not be lying down with the same sex. That's man nor woman. You know, man nor woman. It's in the law that it's an abomination. It's disgusting. It's the worst that you can do. Come on, man. We gotta serve the Most High. Especially you being from the house of David. You being the children of Israel. This is what you cannot do. We supposed to be holy. We supposed to separate from the world. So we gotta separate from America. You got that Leviticus?
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
"If a man also lie with mankind, as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them."
Man, blood should be on yourself. You harming your own soul. You harming your own soul. No, we're not gonna put you to death. You know that we gonna tell you about your spirit. The Most High gonna deal with you accordingly. But we telling you to come up out of that wicked act. Come up out of that wicked act, man. We can't be living like that. It's nothing fruitful that comes from it. Only death comes from it. You can't even plenish the world with laying down with the same sex. It's nothing. It's not fruitful at all. You're harming your soul.
God, this is Deuteronomy chapter 23 and 17.
Bring it out.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel. God, it says, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Man, so men and women. So we got the daughters of Israel. Man, you can't be out here whoring yourself. All on, what is it, Instagram? What is that, OnlyFans? Facebook, all these social media sites, you on there whoring yourself because you on there showing your body to get money. In the literal, y'all out here going on dates and then ending the date with a what do they used to call it in the massage parlors? Happy hour for money.
Escorts.
Man, you can't do that. And then especially, like I said, we're going into sodomy, sodomites. Especially you man, we can't be laying down with the same sex work. Man, it doesn't make no sense. Like, how are you giving yourself over to that? Come on, how? What will make you even want to give yourself over to that? And if you have that on your spirit, that by all means fight that. Especially being the house of Israel. Come on, man. We'll bring that out, King.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 33.
Bring it out.
"For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints." So he's going into, now, this is a very finicky topic, especially in the times that we're in. But we already know that it was already labeled a disorder. That was a disorder back in the day. Was it 19? Back in the day, and they changed it. But now it's acceptable. It's accepted. But the Most High God said this, He is not the author of confusion. So the Most High God is not with that. And we already see that it's confusing when you have a woman that wants to go to another woman that's masculine. That's confusing. Why not get with a masculine man? She's going to a woman and is attracted to a woman, but she likes her masculinity. That's confusing.
All right, and vice versa. You a man wanting another man that's feminine, trying to be like a woman.
Right.
It's all confusion. It's out of order. And again, it brings nothing but death. There's nothing good coming to you.
Hey, like the brother said, it was he said a disorder means you was considered a sick person. Not sick as in you're sick. We talking about you was literally mentally ill if you indulged in that, man. Now, like he said, it's accepted now on a national scale, man. America's making these other countries accept it, man. I seen a nigga from Japan. He was a Ammonite. He was in Japan. I ain't never seen no Chinese, Japanese dude who's homosexual. I ain't never seen that.
Iranians and stuff.
So
like
when
that.
I seen it, I was like, what the hell? So America's pushing this on all nations. So this is Romans. Did you already have Romans?
Yeah,
Romans chapter 1?
Yeah, you know it. Give me Genesis 13 and 13. And then we're going to go into the Genesis 19. Give Genesis 19 and 4. We're going to start on 4. We're going to read down to 13.
Genesis 13 and what?
13. Okay. We just gonna read that.
This is Genesis chapter 13 and verse 13. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly.
All right, so we're gonna go into this because this is where we find Sodom and Gomorrah. This is where we're gonna dive into it. This is where we see that they was wicked, but we're gonna go in and see how was they wicked. We're gonna see how was they wicked, and again, this is why we're going into this thing. Let's go to Genesis 19.
This is book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 4. It says, "But before they laid down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house around, both old and young. All the people were from every quarter. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them."
Start right there. I want to start right there because the context that we're going into, that this is Lot and the angels, and then you have the men of this city. They come up to the household once they see these angels, these men walk into this house, and they want to get to know them. Key word is know them. Now you would think, they just want to talk to them, right? But we're gonna go further into what they mean by knowing them, because they don't want to just talk to them. They want to lay down with them. This is what that know them is going into, and it's gonna further elaborate, and we're gonna prove it with more scriptures.
And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof.
All right, so again, this is how we know that they want to know him, because he's like, well, look, man, I give you my daughters. Him, daughter. I give you my daughters. So again, this is how we know that it was going into them laying down with these men. They wanted to, and the cold thing, it was from the oldest to the youngest. The whole city was wicked. All these men wanted unknown flesh, strange flesh. Every last one of them wanted strange flesh. That vile affection, from the youngest to the oldest.
I'll show you what a vile affection is.
It is. So this is where we see it all come to light. This is where they get sodomy from the Sodomites, right out of the Bible, showing and proving again how the Bible is real. So you got it, King. Proving how we go to the source for everything. We're gonna go to the source. The source is telling us not to do this. And why would you want to give yourself over to strange flesh? The Most High gave the commandment to go get you a wife and multiply the earth. You can't do that with same sex. You can't. It can't be done. It's not natural. It's unnatural. It's strange flesh.
It says, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came into sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we dwell worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the men, even Lot, and came near to break the door.
So they was so enticed, boy. Like I said, they pressed them. Full court pressed them. They at the door. They trying to get up in that thing. They spirit is just vile. They're just wicked. They trying to get up in there. You say you ready?
Yeah. Hey, but they said, you better move, or we gonna do worse with you than we was gonna do with them. And he's explaining what they was gonna do to him. It says the vile affections is the boundaries of desire, fascination, passion, and dread collide. Dread, something that's dreadful, and a passion and a desire and a fascination, it collides. That's what a vile affection is, right?
And you can see them pressing that door. They was passionate about getting to that strange flesh.
Let me continue on.
We'll come back to it. I'm gonna let us finish this.
I got a precept for mine. All right, because this is in the land of Canaan, right? And this is something that we wasn't supposed to learn or do from them. This is Leviticus chapter 18 and verse 2. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwell, shall ye do not. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I bring you, shall ye do not, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God." So we're not supposed to do what we learn from the other nations.
Right. You see why we got the law when we came out of Egypt, from dealing with these Egyptians, these Canaanites, these Africans. We see why, because what was they doing? Dealing with this strange flesh, dealing with all wickedness. You say you got something, Cam?
I have the Romans one.
We'll come back to that.
All right. Verse 10. "But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot unto the house, and them to them, and shut to the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door." Verse 24. "Then the Lord rained up on Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven." Keep on. 28. "And he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah and toward all the land of the plain, and behold, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace."
All right, so I jumped down there after we got the account of what was going on. These men wanted this strange flesh. They was pressing the issue. The Most High punished them for these wicked acts. They punished them for being in wickedness. They punished them for being sodomites. They got punished for this act that they was committing. Same thing that we see here in America. And prophecy saying that America is gonna be hit with a nuclear bomb. You have to line these things up to see, like, hey, the Most High doesn't change. He doesn't change. So the same reasons that was going, the same thing that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah, we see going on in America. They got from the sky, he rained fire and brimstone. So we're gonna see that the Most High is gonna do the same thing, but the difference is it's gonna be a nuclear bomb. It's going to be a nuclear bomb. We can't overlook this, and it's because of the same acts. Where was it first legal for this thing to be okay at? In America. In America, like, come on, man. And we see that the wicked is ruling on this earth. Let's get Deuteronomy 29 and 23 and 1 Kings 14 and 24. All right. Somebody else give me 1 Kings 15 and 12. Yeah. All right. Who got that? Deuteronomy 29, 23. He got. What you think? You got 1 Kings 14.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 verse 23. And it reads, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown, nor beareth, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah and Zeboim, which the Lord overthrew in his anger and in his wrath.
Man, so the Most High, that he was angry, his wrath came abound on the earth. And then, like I say, this is true. We can find this land right now. These folk, the two cities and the two that surround it, that there's still nothing growing on this land. You still find sulfur and all these things to this day from the Most High. And this is not a game. Again, we see that the same thing is going on in America. And because judgment hasn't came speedily, people still dwelling in it. But guess what? It's going to be a judgment for it.
That's right.
God, this is 1 Kings chapter 14 and verse 24.
Bring it out.
And there were also Sodomites in the land, and they did according to all the abomination of the nations which the Lord cast out before the children of Israel.
Again, the Most High moved the Canaanites out the land so we could come in. Why? Because again, they was practicing these acts. That's why we got the law to separate us. No, you don't go do that. Don't do that. You come up out of that. You separate yourself. You become holy. And he give us these laws to not lie down with mankind as mankind. This is why these laws come in. 1 Kings, he just brought out 14, 24. Let me get 1 Kings 15 and 12. And 1 Kings 22 and 46. So we see why the Most High gave us these laws, because we was in the midst of these people. We was in their lands. Hell, we was even in captivity up under these people, and this is the things that they was doing. When you even go into history, you will see that the Egyptians was really getting down through there like that. So again, man, you see why we have to be separate from the other nations. Why they're heathens. Why the Most High said, y'all are my holy children, because he separated us for him. The only way you can be separated is when you keep these laws. You're not holy if you're not keeping these laws.
1 Kings chapter 15 and verse 12.
Bring it out.
It says, and he took away the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his father had made. And also Micaiah, his wife or his mother, even her he removed from being queen, because she had made an idol in a grove, and Asher destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. But the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asher's heart was perfect with the Lord all his days.
So it's the same thing we should be doing, man. You should be setting people. Every time you go, you see a Sodomite, you dealing with them. Let them go to these precepts. Show them, hey man, Israel, the way that we become righteous, the way that you stay on high. Especially back then, you being the king, you wanted to be in the right side of the Lord. You wanted to be living by the Most High. And the ways that you did, what was they doing? He was taking the Sodomites out the land. Y'all gotta get up out of here. You know what I mean? This defiled land, we can't do so. But hey, it's gonna be a time and a place and a day that we ain't going for none of that.
That's right.
We ain't going for none of that, for real.
All right, so this is the god Ashtoreth. This goes back to the Canaanites, right? Ashtoreth, Baal. It says Asherah, Salakia.
Let me get 1 Kings 22.
Ashereth was worshipped in various ways, including through ritual sex. Although she was believed to be Baal's mother, she was also his mistress. Pagans practiced sympathetic magic. That is, they believed that they could influence the gods' actions by performing the behavior they wished the gods to demonstrate. Believing the sexual union of Baal and Asherah produce fertility. Their worshippers engaged in immoral sex to cause the gods to join together. So this is what they believe. Yeah, dumb shit. But this is what they believe, and this is what they would do. This is why you had a man on man and woman on woman, because they believe that this would join their gods together. They really believe that this nonsense that we know is just, they want to believe in it just so they can do it and have a reason, a purpose behind it. Right?
Again, you see that with Easter. Y'all on a lower level not doing it, right? But some of y'all might be, but on the elites, guess what they doing behind the scenes? They on some sodomite timing, but you can't see, and they're doing it for this God that they believe in serving.
Hey, I don't know if you brought it out, but with that God, every time that God was worshipped or brought out, that she would always switch the sexes. The sexes would always be switched. Whether she would try to make the men feminine and the women masculine. Every time. It's crazy.
Shit, that's not today.
Yeah, still to this day, man. Let me get
Hey, but I was bringing it out to say this in the Diadochi Empire. They went into Egypt and stole those customs. That's why the Greeks are so famous. They're the ones that's the most known when it comes to these kind of practice, the sodomy practice. And they brought that shit over here because these are Greeks here. So they brought these practices from way back from where Canaan, man. They stole, because they don't have a heritage. So they gotta go steal other people's heritage, and obviously they like those kind of rituals. And we see it every day. We see, look what they got the celebrities doing. They got them niggas bending over. But it's not just because. It's because they want them to get down for what they believe in. If you want all this, you gotta do what we doing. And we see it clearly. They exposing it.
Look at 2 Kings 23:7.
God, this is 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 46.
There you go.
And the remnant of the Sodomites, which remained in the days of his father Asa, he took out of the land. There was then no king in Edom, a deputy was king. You want me to keep reading on it?
I just want to, continue to show you that this, when you're a righteous king, you're going to get this practice about in your kingdom. So I just wanted to highlight that. Like, hey, the righteous kings, they getting this stuff up out of there. Get that up out of there. What? Y'all can't be doing this. Y'all don't know the law? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, you already grabbed it?
Yeah, you can grab it again.
Okay, kind. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse Salakia. 23:17, I believe. Kind. This the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 17.
Bring it out.
There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel.
Again, us being from Israel, you can't be practicing none of this.
Come over here right quick. Come over here. Yeah. I seen you. We seen you looking.
It's right here.
That's why we called you over here.
Yes, sir.
You ever heard of the Hebrew Israelites? You ever heard of the Hebrew Israelites?
Nah, man. I'm just saying, I'm from the hood here, man. Like, I know y'all in the right place and everything, but like, we in the hood, baby. Like, please hold. Please don't come out to my hood.
What do you mean? We live here. Calm down, brother. Calm down. We reading out the Bible. We haven't came with no ill intentions to nobody. We haven't came with no ill intentions for anybody, so we don't even know why you're approaching us like this. We haven't said nothing crazy to you. We told you to come here.
Yeah, you.
We don't even know why you came. All right, that's cool. We ain't coming with no friction. We just. So us telling. So we got a question. So I got a question for you then. So us telling people to not be homosexual is not teaching hope?
No, it's
How
completely-
not?
We don't mean that.
How
No,
not?
I'm not saying you're not.
We're trying to say maybe next time.
What do you mean? It's not the first time we've been out here.
No, and I apologize if y'all been out here a whole bunch. I mean, I said
This is just a lesson we're going in today because it needed to be spoken
every
on.
person, every situation.
It takes a lot to get out here like this, right?
Exactly. And this why and we coming straight out the Bible.
That's
We're coming straight out the Bible with it.
I'm not like some internet do that. We're talking. I promise you, I've been through
I just want to know where all this energy coming from. Where's all the energy coming from? That's what I want to know. That's why I'm putting out, don't be a homosexual. That's why I'm putting that out.
Okay, look, I'm not gay.
Who said you was gay?
I'm not saying this. saying that, but like, I'm just saying if you remember how this my message, what I was trying to say, you just got this along the way. I was saying,
Yeah, because your
like,
spirit
trying to
came up.
preach a little hope. Like,
We preaching hope. We definitely preaching hope.
That's right.
That's right.
Condemning people for being homosexuals with their sexual preference, like.
So you going against God? You go against God.
I fuck girls, baby. Like one type of
So how are we going against? How are we not preaching hope?
I'm not saying
What comes behind homosexuality? What comes behind it?
I mean, guess they can get married now. They can vote. I mean, all that shit. I don't
So
know.
do they get STIs from it? Do they die from it? So how is that not giving them hope? Come up out of that practice, because you might die, you might get an STI, you might get AIDS and HIV. How is that not telling my people? How is that not giving my people hope?
You definitely having sex with women too, huh?
What?
Like tell people to quit doing drugs.
This is, like I said, this is not the first time we've been out here. We're going into this one today. Even though it's bothering your spirit, it might not be bothering the people who need to hear it.
All right, bro, I'm gonna sit you down.
Yeah, I don't. Well, let's finish this lesson, man. Let me get 2 Kings 23 and 7. Let me get Isaiah 3 and 9.
Hey, and this is our hood.
Yeah, because that was crazy. Yo, hood.
Bro, we
Yo,
don't
hood.
care about that, bro.
Man. We ain't gonna even deal with him, man. We know that's Esau, and we know he wicked. Because who would even come? We talking about the Bible, you come up here with friction. You ain't put out no Bible verse, and you talking about we ain't giving out hope. We giving out people hope right now.
That's right.
And we trying to bring our people out of hoodish conditions. They like, man, they like that shit, bro.
It's hood.
Stepped out of order.
But they ain't no point. That's why I ain't deal with him. Because like, bro,
Bar
we
looked
ain't.
at me. I was like, yeah.
Because he moved my spirit. Like, bro, you act like we ain't out here. Like, this ain't our hoods. Like, we live out here. What are you talking about? But ain't nobody dealing with that. That's Satan comes immediately. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't gonna worry about it. Let's get Isaiah 3 and 9. And then what you was reading? You got 2 Kings 23.
God, this is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 23, verse 7.
Bring it out.
And he brake down the houses of the Sodomites that were by the house of the Lord, where the women wove hangings for the groves. And he brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah and defiled the high places where the priests had burned incense from Geba to Beersheba, and break down the high places of the gates that were in the entering in of the gate of Joshua.
I'm reading too far.
And now you good. And then, like, I hate that because you know how it mess with your spirit. But we know Esau wants you to stay a Sodomite. He wants you to be just like he is. Right. This is his kingdom. So, of course, he going to come up here talking about, give him hope. Don't be talking about the Sodomites. Why? Because that's what they do. That's their practices, man.
Hey, you know one thing too, like when we're dealing with in the 1800s in slavery, bro, the slave masters, they had, you know, there was undesirable white people too, and they had them out there on a plantation with us, keeping us in check. Them is the ones they had butt breaking us. Those are the ones they had actually watching over us. And that's what we see today. Undesirables talking about, telling us what we need to do in the hood. Talking about his hood. Nigga, this ain't your, well,
It's his.
yeah,
it's your kingdom. It's your kingdom.
It's your kingdom now.
Yeah, you got it.
Just click.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, we ain't gonna go there with
That's a
you.
perfect example, bro. The slave masters having the undesirable white people to have the Negroes in check. Perfect example.
Cause like we coming straight out the Bible, you come up here with straight madness. But again, that's Esau's spirit, man. He wicked. He the one got this spirit running rapid through her. He got the Sodomites coming through her. So of course he gonna be like, stop condemning them. What? So we ain't dealing with the Most High then. All right. That's all that is. So we ain't going for none of that. And we could have really got on his helmet, but he already moved my spirit when he came up here because we didn't even get to deal with the Israelites because of him. You know what I mean? So it's like, man, I ain't dealing with you, man, because we can really get to doing some condemning. We'll tell you your judgment. But man, we're gonna finish this lesson, man. We're gonna finish this lesson. Let me get Isaiah 3 and 9.
Right, because he said, you know, we're not dealing with hope, right? So this is all we do is deal with hope. And I want to bring this out. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
It says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? So we're out here telling people how to be righteous, how to get the kingdom. We're telling them hope. We're preaching hope. We're telling them how to get the kingdom of God. Again, the Bible says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived. Neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves of mankind So these are the people that we're talking to right now. This is the lesson that he's going over, telling them how to get the kingdom of God. So if you want to know how to get to the kingdom, you got to get in order, and you got to learn what sin is. So this is what the brother's going into.
And that's in the New Testament. Give me, go to chapter 9 and verse 27 also. You know what I mean?
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 27.
Bring it out.
It says, but I keep under my body and bring it unto subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be as cast away.
You gotta put your body under subjection. You should be condemning yourself if you in that lifestyle.
Right.
We shouldn't even have to come out here and condemn you. You should be putting your body under subjection, that you ain't even laying down with mankind, or you a woman laying down with another woman. These things you shouldn't even be doing. You should be putting your body under subjection. We definitely out here giving hope. We are definitely moving in the spirit of faith, man, because if you're not keeping the laws of God, then you serving your belly, you serving your own God. You done became your own God, man. You serving Satan.
Hey, this is Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable.
He is what?
He is miserable.
He is what?
He is miserable. It says, and their hope is vain. Their labors unfruitful and their works unprofitable. Their wives are foolish and their children are wicked. So you have something called vain hope, man. I can hope I win $5 million in the next 2 days. That don't mean it's going to happen. And I'm going to be hoping, wasting all this time hoping for no reason. Because it's not going to happen, bro. So you can have vain hopes, but it says when you despise wisdom, which is the performance of the law, that's when that hope become vain. That's when that your works are unprofitable. Your fruits are unprofitable. And your wives and your children are wicked, man.
Give me Isaiah.
So you gotta ask him, like, what do you got hope in? What's your hope? And then he gonna give you a bunch of bullshit, like, I just want to take care of the hood. I just want to do.
Right.
Bro, we're trying to pull our people out of that mentality and out the hood. Bro, we lived in this hood for so damn long, bro. Nobody want to live here. What you talking about?
You can have this hood.
Nigga, we don't want to be here. Only people like that want to be here. You gonna tag us up like, bro?
That's why I ain't deal with that. We know Esau. We know you wicked. Watch this, watch this precept. This prove that if you're not at the house of God, then you're. I almost slipped up. You're a sodomite.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 9.
Look it out.
Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
So if the Most High then set aside his small remnant, everybody would have been like Sodom and Gomorrah. So you can't tell us that we shouldn't be coming out here giving this hope. Because if you don't come into the house of the Lord and keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, guess what? Most likely you're going to become a sodomite. That's what we see in Scripture. Let's get Isaiah 3 and 9.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 9.
Bring it out.
The show of their countenance doth witness against them. The show of their countenance doth witness against them. And they shall declare their sin as Sodom. They hid it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
Oh, man. Hot. Man. Give me a verse.
All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 14.
Bring it out.
I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem and a horrible thing they commit.
I got it. I'm right here. Jeremiah 23 and 14.
Bring it out.
I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem an horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hand of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof as Gomorrah.
And we see that these wicked pastors, they out there, they okay in it. You know, you go into a church house right now, what you gonna see? You gonna see sodomites in that thing, and they okay with it. Come as you are. But if you done came as you are, if you the preacher, you the pastor, even though they came how they are, how is they still leaving how they came in? It's no way that they should be still, they walk out being the same in the same spirit. You should have then gave them the law. You should have condemned them and got them up out of that sodomite spirit. You know what I mean? They shouldn't be still in the choir with the, what do they call it, the tambourine, you know, and nah, man, you need to go, hey, go get in a drum set or something, man. Beat on your chest, become a man.
So I went and did a little bit of research on 501c3s, right? And come to find out that when you take a 501c3, so these churches that take the 501c3, you got to take a 501c3 to be a church, to have a church congregation, right? At least here in America, you have to apply to the rules here in the land of America. So if you have a homosexual in the church, you have to be okay with that, and you have to marry them if they want to be married. You have to counsel them if they want to be counseled. So that's things that you have to do when you do have a 501c3.
You gotta marry them? Woo.
That's nasty.
Ooh, that's nasty.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's nasty. Come on, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, do you take this lawful wedded man to be your man? I'm not doing that.
Jeremiah 49:23. This the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 18. This the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 18.
Bring it out.
As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it.
Yeah, that's it on that.
You can't, man, the reason why I wanted to go there is because if you saying you from the house of Israel, I want you to really, if you saying you from the house of Israel and you dwelling in that sodomite spirit, bro, you got something coming to you. You got to come up out of that. You can't be dwelling in this spirit. It can't, man, you can't do it. You cannot be dwelling in that spirit. It even fall upon your kids. Let's get that Matthew 17 and 20. Let me read to 21 and then let me get that Isaiah. Oh, we already got that. Go ahead, grab that Romans 1. 21 you trying to grab. We're going to do a little reading on that one, though. Read all the way to 32. What I say, Matthew 17 and 20. What's up, bro? We still putting in the work, man. We waiting on you, baby. We waiting on you.
I already talked to him. I seen him at the
crazy.
Max. I was like, where you at?
I was on Facebook last night and I came across his profile. Yeah. Yeah. He was talking about God on that stuff, but he playing.
You gotta come, man. You gotta come.
One more time, King. That was
Matthew 17 and 20.
Okay, Connor.
Verse 20 and 20.
Connor, this the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 20.
Bring it out.
This the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 20.
Bring it out.
And Yahushua said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall be removed, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Howbeit this kind goeth not out by prayer and fasting.
So again, to be in this truth, first thing you gotta do is believe in Yahweh. Have faith in Yahweh Shah, right? Go in the faith. If you got faith, this is a small amount of faith, man. Any problem you're going through, any stronghold that's on you, once you go, you can get that up out of there. You know, you go into fasting, you go into prayer. If you really dealing with that spirit and it's a stronghold on you, then it can be, you can get that stronghold is that mountain right there. Man, you can make that get up out of here. All you got to do is have a little faith, go into prayer and fasting. The Bible tells you how to resolve these problems. We go to the Bible for everything. Why? Because it's always a resolution to your problem in the Bible.
That's right.
It's not that hard at all. It's not that hard at all. Yeah, let's go to the Romans.
This is Romans chapter 1, and I'm going to start at, it says, because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. It says, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creepy things. It says, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Again, your imagination, your thought process, if like okay, because we was, it's the reason why I went into this lesson. So if you feeding images, that's good, deal with it. You feeding your mind images, pornography, and it's dealing with, you shouldn't even be on there in the first place, but say you on there and it's dealing with man on man, guess what? You're gonna end up giving yourself over to that vile affection. And the Most High give you over to it, because that's what your belly, that's what your desires has become. Because you feeding your mind that. You feeding these images in your head. I don't know no heterosexual man that want to see nothing like this. I don't even see how you ended up over there in that. Even if you hopped on there, how you end up over there? So you done fed your mind, and the Most High gonna give you over to that.
Yeah. It says, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. It says, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator.
All right, so we even see now that they want you to believe that Yahweh Shah is the Most High, and also that Caesar Borgia is Christ, and we know that they turn the truth into a lie. They let you think that being man on man is natural. Having a sex change is natural.
You know what they be saying? They say, I was born like this. Like, ain't nobody born like that, man.
Ain't nobody born like that. That you telling us that the Most High made a mistake. No, you gave yourself over to that. You wanted to live like that. You let that resonate in your spirit. That spirit been here, and when it came your way, you held on to it. Like, oh, I like this. You weren't born like that.
A lot of times people will say that. Yeah. And a lot of times people will say that and not have the good understanding, because we are born in sin. We are born in sin, and one thing you got to learn how to do is differentiate between what sin is and what sin isn't. So they saying these things not knowing. They saying it's a good thing, it's a natural thing, but it's not a natural thing, especially as an Israelite. We are from a righteous tree. We are from a righteous branch. So that is not a natural thing. That's something that we was learned, and it can be unlearned.
All right. I mean, how can it be natural when same sex, neither same sex can produce a baby out of it? So how is it even natural? How? You got to make that make sense. But again, they want you to believe that all kind of madness over here in Babylon, all kind of madness.
God. It says, who is blessed forever, amen. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
So again, going right there is proving it's not natural. And the Most High give you over to that. Okay, you wanna listen what you? Okay, here.
Hey, it said that's against nature. What's something natural that a woman does? Produce children. So when they go into the woman, they going against that, which means you're going against what God set up from the beginning. Which means there's a consequence for that. And that consequence is the Lord giving you over to that. And that's why amongst the LGBT community, AIDS and HIV is flowing like river water through that place.
And that's the thing too, dealing with HIV and AIDS. When they in that spirit, they don't never want to deal with the percentage of it being, especially among the Negroes, the Negro men, when they lay down, that percentage of them getting HIV and AIDS is a high percentage. Look up the stats. But they only want you to look into needles and blood transfusions. Everybody not getting that. Everybody not shooting up, and everybody's not getting blood transfusions. But we can see cities from Atlanta to all the way to California of sodomite activity in the percentage of the percentage of STIs, HIV, and AIDS is rapid and is high in those cities. You don't see those percentages are not that high dealing with blood transfusions.
Hey, quick point too. Now, when you go back as far as like natives, right, the native chiefs and stuff, you will see that they had multiple wives, but they wasn't transmitting diseases because they were all faithful and loyal to each other, right? The women for sure had to be faithful and loyal, right? It had to be clean and pure, but that's something that you do not see these days, a woman being faithful and pure to her husband. But hey, it is crazy to see Geronimo, right? He had multiple wives, but no sexual transmitted diseases.
They fit.
It says, also, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burning in their lust one towards another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. And what is that? AIDS. They received that recompense, that payback, that vengeance, which was meat for them for the error that they did, because they know it's wrong, bro. You don't have to tell nobody that's wrong. That's wrong, bro. You know that in your body, you know that in your soul that it's wrong to do that.
That's why you see a lot of them trying to come up out of it. And then be like, man, I'm trying to come up out of it, but man, because you like it. So you want to. The Most High is trying to pull you up out of it, but you like, oh, I like it, but that's that flesh. You need to be walking in the spirit, come up out of your flesh, but you dwelling in your flesh. Oh, you know. So that stronghold, you're allowing it to be a stronghold. Because I can't relate to no man on man, but I can relate to, when it comes to women. Wanting a lot of women. Guess what though? I put my body under subjection. You know what I mean? So you can do the same thing. No, we can't relate to no man on man, but we in the flesh too. We got stronghold too. But guess what we doing? We moving in the spirit. So we don't allow that stronghold to hold us down. You know what I mean? Huh?
And that spirit is temperance, self-control.
You gotta say that part again. Say it again. You gotta say the part you said. We dealing with it too, not on the man-to-man.
Not on the man-to-man.
But having a whole bunch of women that go through men's head. You gotta touch on that again. That's
Man, come on, because what heterosexual man don't want multiple women? I mean, just be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Most of us can't handle like me.
right.
But you know what I mean? It is a spirit, right? And righteousness, right? If you can get, you got those righteous women, and hey, we can have it, because yes, we definitely can deal with polygamy. But my thing is especially in this society, you gonna want to, man. We see beautiful women consistently, but we know they not in the spirit, bro. We know they not in the spirit, so guess what? We put our body, our spirits under subjection. No, I'm not about to go get on little mama. No, she bad though. She bad, but no. Because guess what? She gonna mess up everything I got going on, because she not gonna submit. She not gonna fear the Most High. You see what I'm saying?
She bad carnally, but spiritually she ugly.
Right.
Because she gonna not do right. She's not gonna be righteous.
You say the flesh look good. The flesh feel good. But we gotta look at the spirit. Why? Because we spiritual man. This is a spiritual realm, man. We fighting against principalities. And since we know that, we're not gonna just go and chase all this flesh. No. But heterosexual man, we want multiple women. But we like he said, we can relate to strongholds. We just can't relate to that stronghold. Right. But we fight, right? We don't want to relate to that.
I'm staying far away.
Hey, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 30.
Bring it out.
Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. But a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Period, point blank.
She shall be what?
She shall be praised.
She shall be what?
She shall be praised.
So that's the reason why we can't go out there and jump on little mama.
Hey.
We gotta put our bodies in subjection.
Hey, because they always want to say that, I mean, y'all just do women wrong. Y'all hate women. No, we don't. What we tell to the women is, hey, come out of the world. What man is gonna want a woman who don't listen? Who acting like a whore? Yeah. You dress like a whore, you act like a whore, but you want me to treat you like a what? Get up out of here.
Hey, they said that same thing about Kevin Samuels too, but they said that the first 3 years of him doing his thing, he was talking about men. First 3 years, and then after that he started talking about women. But then they were saying, you always talking about the women. The whole first 3, I didn't even know that. Yeah. First 3 years?
We can't never talk about women. Hey, we can't, so y'all just perfect. It's always the man's fault. We just down fault. Y'all just perfect. How you doing, sis?